Peace and blessings, beloveds. I am here today to share with you the psychology of Sagittarius, the poetry of Sagittarius. Another selection from my book, Feast of the Zodiac, Wisdom of Astrology. Rhythm of Sagittarius, the optical mystic, optimistic. Golden dawn of meadow's morning, Sagittarius now borning, king of aspiration's tower, galloping ecstasy, joy, horsepower, married to unceasing travel, soul of life I must unravel. I am known as the optical mystic, with vision of purity, a pure eye tie. Fortune is born of the idealistic, wisdom, the fruit of the prophet's eye. Enthusiastic, energetic, humorous, frank, and quite magnetic. Master of incredible speed, expansion and freedom, my greatest need. Love to see things as a whole. The petty parts do bore my soul. By little details, sometimes ill-pleased, bless the forest, yet curse the trees. But power of the mightiest wind is laid bare by a summer breeze, so the smallest part is a humble friend, and the forest is multiplied by the trees. I've got joy in spite of sorrow, peace in spite of pain, faith in a great tomorrow, sunshine throughout the rain. I've got pep in my step and fun in my gun, but until I am tactful, the battle's not won. Speak words that tickle and words that whip, but better know when to zip up that lip. Restless rebel, rude and rash, sarcasm and anger must not last. Be charming, brave, and adaptable, not boastful, scattered, and impractical. Name every low and dark vibration a candidate for cancellation. Writer, teacher, publisher, lawyer, judge, and philosopher, scientific universalizer, inspirational specializer with intuition to reveal the knowledge of my rightful field. Exaggeration, naivety, laziness, untidiness, impatience, misuse of wealth, let these rise to meet their death. I refuse to be slave to my lower self. Daring, flirtatious, dramatic, bluffer, stop over indulging, no longer to suffer. Generous, confident, exciting schemes, that reality birth the impossible dream. By Jupiter's foresight and mind expansion, enter the door to that boundless mansion. Your God victory, threshold of ascension, that blessed bridge to a new dimension. I am Sagittarius. And the key word or the key phrase is I aspire or I aim for Sagittarius. Key words: outgoing, optimistic, takes risks, gambles, independent, hates fences, loves travel, outdoors, into religion, philosophy, seeks higher education, blunt speech, to the point, athletic, sports interests, love animals and wildlife, flippant, non-caring, impatient, intolerant of ignorance, avoids commitments. And of course, there is always the opportunity to transcend any of the would-be negatives. You know, one of the most powerful things that Sagittarius teaches us is to be in the emotional honesty, to walk our talk, to speak our truth. And there is incredible optimism, you know, a spirit of joy a spirit of bliss. Sagittarius is the bliss master. But there is the need to draw in from the opposite sign. You know, when Sagittarius needs to deal with the multidimensionality of life, then Sagittarius draws upon the energy of Gemini. Sagittarius is a master of specialization. You know, Gemini is a master of multiplicity. And sometimes the Sagittarius must draw upon the multiplicity frequency of the Gemini. Gemini and Sagittarius come together to reveal one another to each other. The negatives within Sagittarius are canceled out by the positives within Gemini, as the negatives within Gemini are canceled out by the positives within Sagittarius. You know, we learn how to really dance in the resonance of travel through Sagittarius. Sagittarius is very masterful, you know, in long distance travel, but also in being a world bridger, you know, being aligned with cultural and racial diversity. You know, Sagittarius knows how to be accepting of those who are culturally and racially diverse from themselves. There is a curiosity that exists within Sagittarius about the cultural and racial diversity, because there is an innate understanding within Sagittarius with regards to the multifacetedness of Sagittarius's own inner being, and therefore there is a reaching out for connection with the cultural and racial diversity in order to have all of those mirrors to mirror back to Sagittarius the internal multifacetedness of Sagittarius's being. And so we thank you, Sagittarius, for teaching us the lessons of optimism, the lessons of faith, the lessons of courage, and the lessons of aspiring to a higher philosophy, aspiring to the spiritual understandings of life. You know, Sagittarius is the master of the domain of spiritual understanding, spirituality, you know, the philosophies of life, the higher education of life. And so we open our hearts to that part of our own self that is the resonance of Sagittarius, because we all have Sagittarius somewhere within our chart, on the cusp of one of our houses or intercepted in one of our houses. I am Astarius Miraculi. I love you so much. I invite you to experience a intuitive astrology reading with me so that we can go into the full essence of your chart. I also do transmissions of healing frequency with sound, of didgeridoo, of vocal harmonics, and things of that nature. Go to my website, you know, hear some of the sound clips on my albums, you know, read some excerpts from my books, you know, maybe make some purchases, and put me to work. Let's do some one-on-one work on a session level. I would be so honored to support your expansion in that way. Aho ashe, amen, namaste. Hotep en lakesha lakin shalom. Sat nam hariom Rastafari. Our sacred juices are cooked and infinitely expanding. Juicefari. We'll always have many miles on our smile, wiggle in our giggle, tingling in our boots, laughter ever after putt in our strut, wings on our butt, always rising up at the top. There's room for all. It's just the bottom that's crowded, y'all. And so it is, and so it shall eternally be.